Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wa sallallahu ala rasulillah. Inshallah, it's going to be a quick review of what we've been talking about a lot over the last few weeks regarding the demonstrating the proof or some proofs for the existence of the Creator. Okay? And we know we've been doing our little flowchart thing. So inshallah, we'll our tree. So let's go through it today, inshallah. Because some people, they learn visually, right? Some people learn by listening. Some people learn by singing. Some people learn by using their hands. So we are different. So let's make it something visual. So we know, just so we're clear from the beginning, what is the elementary proof for the existence of the Creator? The creations. Okay, now we're going to go and explain all of this, but just so that we know that. So, but when we're talking with an atheist, if you tell him, well, the proof that there's a Creator is the fact that this universe exists, or there are creations, he won't want to call them creations, we'll say the universe exists. He will not just say, oh yeah, you're right, there must be a Creator. So what we need to do is break down his argument and show why it must be incorrect. But so, and remember, when we debate with somebody, we're talking about the existence of God with an atheist. Are you going to say, for example, Afillahi shak, that there's no doubt in God's existence, what is revealed in the Quran? Are you going to mention what is revealed in the Quran to him? No, that's not going to be your starting point. What are you going to start from? Something you both can what? Agree upon, because he doesn't agree with the Quran. So what do you and this atheist agree upon? The world is, the universe exists. And by universe, we mean like the phenomena we see around us, the things in the seas, the outer space, okay? So we agree that the universe exists, all right? Everybody got it? So now, how do we account for the universe? Now we know what we say, okay? But there are only two possibilities a person can even claim about the universe. One is invalid, this side is invalid, and one is valid. What is the invalid claim? You say they could say?
They say the universe created itself?
No, you jumped. They're going to claim, they can only claim the universe. We said the universe is, so the only they can claim is the universe always has been, meaning that the universe is, they claim, they say, I'm reporting it, they say the universe is beginningless. They say the universe is beginningless. Or a person can say the universe has a what? Beginning. Let's say originated, meaning it has a what?
Beginning.
It has a beginning. You can't say it's neither, it has no beginning, and it has a beginning. He can't claim that. Okay? And he can't claim that it's both of them. So it has to be one or the other. Now, regarding the claim that the universe is beginningless, we know that this is batil. This is invalid. How do we know that this is an invalid argument?
Infinite regression.
Yeah. So we put here invalid, meaning that claim is invalid because it leads to the so-called infinite regression. And how do we know that infinite regression is invalid? In brief, if we use this timeline, this is what? The now, the present, correct?
Yeah.
And according to them, there's a series of events that go back allegedly what? Forever. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
They are claiming that the events before now allegedly go back literally forever. So how do we know that that claim is invalid? You would never be able to cross this infinite number of events to reach the what? The present. Also, there's another way to look at it. If they're claiming that the time before the present is infinite, but when you reach the present, what is it? A limit, an end. So now they're claiming what? The universe is, in time we're talking about, not talking about size, but also the universe is limited in size, but we're talking about time here. That they're claiming that the universe is infinite in time, but it has a what? A limit. So this is a contradiction. So we know that these guys, that's it. The ones who claim the universe is beginningless, you know that argument is what?
Finished.
It's finished, done. There's nothing else. I mean, there are more deep proofs, and we're not talking about a stubborn person. And some of the atheists, some you may encounter, they might have become atheists because they've never heard anything else. Meaning all they heard is what? Christianity. They know that's not right. Then they see the Christians are irrational. Their belief is irrational. So then they say, well, the atheists, at least their talk sounds on the surface to one who doesn't think carefully. It sounds what? Logical. And the atheists say, we value logic and reasoning. Of course, we see that it's not valid, but this is what they claim. So now we know the universe must be what? Originated. So what could be the two, we know this is over, this is done. What can be the two possible claims that the universe is originated? What can one say? We say they say. One could say, I mean, it's not valid. One is kufr. Okay, we're not saying like it's a valid position. But it's he only can say one of two. What are they? The invalid one you say, they say first.
They say the universe created itself.
Yeah, they can claim, they say, that the universe is what? Self-created. All right, and now we know this is invalid. How do we demonstrate that this is invalid? What's our basic statement that we use?
Thing must be to do.
A thing must be to do. What does that mean? A thing must be to do.
A thing must exist to act.
Yeah, a thing has to exist in order for it to act. That which doesn't exist, it doesn't possess anything, can it give something to something else? The one that does not possess existence, can it give existence to something else? No. And we said that the one who claims that the universe or something or anything created itself, they are claiming that it existed before it was originated, and that it was originated after it was already existing. So this is clearly a what? Contradiction. They're busted. A thing must be to do. If a person, can the broke person give you $1 million? Why not?
He doesn't have it.
He doesn't have it. Okay, he doesn't have it. So how can he give something he doesn't have? How can the non-existent give something else existence? It can't. So we know that the self-created argument is what? Invalid. And we'll come over here later. We'll talk about the issue of chance. We'll come back to that inshallah. Okay? Which is really related to being self-created. Allegedly. So now what are we left with?
That is greater than
So don't use that word yet.
Something other than that.
Something other than the universe originated the universe. Okay? So we can say not self-created. And this leads us to when we say the one who created the universe is not self-created. Afwan. The one who originated the universe is not self-created and is not created, period. Is that clear? Not created by itself, and it's not created by something else. Because if it were created by something else, it would still be part of the universe. You follow? So it's not this one who originated the universe is not self-created / not created at all. Not created, period. So then we would know that the one who is uncreated, the one who originated the universe and is uncreated, what will we know about this one? And I'm using the word one. How do we know that there would only be one creator? Go ahead, brother.
Because if there were to be two,
Mm-hmm.
then they would have conflicting interests,
Or conflicting wills.
conflicting wills.
So we know that the one who created the universe is one. There's only one God. And then when we talk about the Muslim belief about the one who created the universe, the creator is one. Of course, we don't mean in a numerical sense, but that there's only one God. What else would be known about the one who created the universe? What else would be known?
He has to be better than all the others.
Huwa Akbar, that the creator is greater. When we say what? Allahu Akbar. And you can say Allahu Akbar min kulli shay. That the creator is what? Is greater than everything else. Which would mean, since God is greater than everything else, the one who created the universe is greater than everything else, then what else would that mean? The creator's not dependent, non-dependent. Hey, you follow me? How do we know that the creator is non-dependent?
Because the creator created everything,
Mm-hmm.
including time, space, direction, and since he created it, that means he was before it.
And not dependent upon it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So from here we know God is not dependent, is non-dependent. Also related to that, which we said, Brother Ahmed clarified it, also would be what? Eternal. Meaning we're using the word eternal, meaning to be beginningless. The creator would be beginningless because the creator would not be originated. You follow? Also, we would know that the creator is eternal, beginningless, and not subject to time. Therefore, the creator would not be subject to a termination in existence. So it would mean God would be everlasting. The creator would be everlasting. And we said that the creator is one, which would also mean that the creator is unique. The only one who creates. And since nothing else creates, then the creator would be different from everything else. You follow? Easy, mashallah. So this when we say unique, that God is not an image, not a shape, not a form, not a material being, not a spiritual being. All right? And when we explain this part, because we discredited the what? The atheist. On this point, we discredit the atheist on this point. So we say that there is a creator. But now when we say who is the creator, then you can compare our belief with the beliefs of people from other religions and philosophies. Is that clear? And you won't find anybody who says God is one in the sense that we say it. Now, the Baha'i people, I'm not clear what they say. But their religion is something, there's other refutations for them. For the issue of God being greater than everything else, God is being one. You look at most of the religions in number, they believe that there are a multitude of alleged gods. Isn't that the case? Yeah. The Buddhists have different beliefs, but among them there are polytheists. You have the Hindus, obviously, the mass of these different pagan religions, that they believe that there are numerous so-called gods. And we say that God is greater. Well, you look at for example, the Christians attribute to God, saying that God got tired, that the Christians say that God was walking through paradise, couldn't find Adam and Eve and called out for them. So this is clearly a thing that is inferior to the one that we worship. Because also among the attributes of God would be that God is what? Omniscient, knows everything, omnipotent, has power over all the creations. Is that clear? What we learned of the 13 attributes. You got it? Okay, everybody good on this? Okay, now let's talk briefly about the issue of chance. Because these guys, this is really an alternative version of saying the universe is self-created. It's really an alternative version of it. Because they will tell you, well, the universe came into being. This is an oversimplified version, but this is how the lay people, the common people understand it. The common atheists. They account for the universe by the what? Big Bang. Isn't that it? Yeah. Okay, but for something to explode, there had, even by their model, they claim that what? It's a compression, I believe, of gases, and they say gravity and energy, and this is what they say. And then this thing exploded. So that which exploded had a beginning. It's not eternal. So something, even in their model, I'm not saying the Big Bang Theory is valid, I'm saying, but even in their model, There had to have been something to exist in order for it to explode. All right. Then, but even that runs into a trouble for them. Why? What's the issue with chance and an explosion?
Well, first of all, I mean, you got the number amount in the chance
All right,
of that
good.
happening. But not only that, but a thing must be to do, so it was willed to happen.
Of
even
course.
if it was to be in that case.
You don't get we're talking about within their model. You don't get order from
Yeah.
a chaos, from an explosion by itself. When they want to destroy a building, what do?
Yeah.
When they want to build a building, do they go stack up some dynamite?
No.
They get some wood and they get some brick and then they stack it up and then they get some explosives and they blow it up. Is that how they make a building? No. If people have given an example. If a tornado hit the junkyard, the typical car junkyard, are you going to get a functioning 747 jet from it? What about even something smaller, a F-15? Are you going to get an F-15 jet from it? The tornado, you have cars, just cars, and this tornado comes through and it hits the car lot or the junkyard, and then after it passes through, that you have a fully functioning F-15, whatever, F-15. Is that going to happen? And these atheists would never accept for such a thing to happen. But what do they say about the universe? That this, and what do they spend their lives doing? Studying the order in the universe. But then they'll tell you it came from an explosion. But if somebody said, "Oh, I built my house," and they say, "Oh man, you have a nice house. How'd you build it?" "Oh yeah, we put some, we got some TNT. We put in the backyard. We detonated, and this is what we got." Will they accept this from you? No. No. So their belief is really absurd. And let's mention what Brother Farouk mentioned in terms of chance. Remember our example of the 10 cards in a bag? You put the 10 cards in a bag, and you take. What's the chance of taking them out? 1 through 10. In sequential order. What's?
It's in a billion.
No.
Trillion?
No, not
3.6 million.
3.6 million. So the chance of taking them out is 3, in consecutive order. Card number 1, card number 2, randomly. We're talking about randomly. Is 1 in 3.6 million. How many cards in there? 10. These people in there, what they talk about DNA, don't they say if one DNA is off, then the whole body is off? And they say, and even within the DNA, they talk about the chains and different things. So how can this just happen by what? By chance. Okay, and we add 5 more cards to that bag, or to the bag, 1 through 15. What's the chance of taking them out in sequential order?
1.3 trillion.
1.3 trillion. And if you had a deck of cards, the 52 cards in a deck, right? To take them out in order, ace, and by, what do you call it, suit? What is it? The diamonds, the hearts, the clubs, and the spades. To take them out in that order, like ace of diamonds first, ace of clubs, diamonds, hearts, and spades. And then all of those 52 in sequential order. If I remember, it's a number 1 followed by, if I remember, it's either,
99.
what is it?
99 zeros.
I think it's 90 something, 90 plus zeros. I was going to say 75 or 90 something. 90 plus zeros. You understand? So you have a number 1, comma, with 90 zeros following. That's the chance of getting a deck of cards in sequential order. So what does this say about chance?
It's an impossibility even by their standards.
By statistical impossibility. Because by their standards, if you have a number, I forgot what it is, it's like 1 out of a certain number of like trillion or quintillion. They say that this is practically impossible. They don't say rationally, because it isn't rationally, but it is statistically impossible. And this is just with what? Cards, do they have life?
No.
Do they have the capacity to reproduce? Do they have consciousness? Do they have feelings like love and the ability to produce art? No. So they're going to say that you and I, which are physically just made from what? Matter, that this thing, our bodies and our minds, arrange themselves all by themselves by
Chance.
chance. This is no honest and sincere and reasonable person can really believe that all of this that you are and this universe is and is just by chance.